of home gardens for healthy living. Anambra State Waste Management Authority cautions residents against indiscriminate dumping of refuse. Federal government urges states to prepare for flood emergencies. Aircraft crash kills United States mariners. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And now the details of the news. I am Priska Wankwo. Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has explained that eating right in line with the acceptable standards of healthy living is cheap and does not cost a fortune. Mrs. Soludo will explain this while responding to questions during one of her engagements with a women group in Oka, noted that economic circumstances do not completely determine healthy living practices, including the choice of what one consumes to keep the body in the best shape. Details of those reports from here.
Mrs. Soludo, who explained this while responding to questions during one of her engagements with a women group in Oka, noted that economic circumstances do not completely determine healthy living practices, including the choice of what one consumes to keep the body in the best shape. The governor's wife further dispelled the notion that eating healthy is akin to making expensive choice of food, stating that one only needs to go to the small farm behind the house to pick up what the body needs to stay right. She encouraged the reintroduction of gardens around homes, noting that those who live in areas without enough land for subsistence farming purposes can adopt sack farming, which does not cost anything to set up. Mrs. Soludo explained that by having such farms around the house, households can have easier and healthier alternatives to food needs without having to go to markets to probably buy the ones that may not have organic values. The Anambra governor's wife, while stating that it is important for households to adopt healthy living as a family culture, stressed that the long-term gains are numerous. She pointed out that by including nutrition as the first pillar of her healthy living goals, she was looking at a stage when Anambra families will prioritize nutritional values of what they eat, while family health could be greatly improved.
Anambra State has clocked 32 years since its creation. Administrations have come and gone, leaving behind trails of its existence in terms of development. In this special report, team of ABS reporters x-ray the journey so far in various sectors of the state economy since 1991. Ngozi Biliri has the details.
Road infrastructure from the time of the first administrator, Joseph Abulu, to former governor Chukwuemeka Ezife, to acting administrator Dabo Aliyu, Colonel Mike Atta, Rufai Garba, Emmanuel Ukebu, and again to Governor Chinwoke Mbadinuju, all did their best in providing good roads. When former governor Chris Ngige came on board in May 29, 2003, he brought a new dawn through mass road infrastructure, which opened up a lot of places, especially in Idemili communities. Again, when former governor Peter Obi took over mantle of leadership on 17th March 2006, he created roads in every nook and cranny of Anambra State, a situation which earned Anambra the title as the state with the best network of roads. Then came former governor Willie Obiano on 17th March 2014, who also constructed roads, bridges across the state with 3 flyovers in Oka. And today, at 32, Anambra State is witnessing accelerated pace in road infrastructure, as explained by the Commissioner for Works, Engineer Ifeanyi Okoma.
It's a work in progress. Every person contributed his own quota. They've given them what they think is best. So everyone has done his best, and we are here to continue. What we have is integrated development. We are building a livable, prosperous homeland.
For the Transition Committee Chairman for Iyi Local Government Area, Mr. Emmanuel Nweke, embarking on construction of over 300 kilometers of roads under 1 year is quite commendable, especially with the quality of roads being done by Governor Soludo.
He has rolled out packages. The workers 30% increment in their basic salary. The rise, other things like to be shared to over 300 homes in various wards. Very soon we'll take off from that. These are the things. The vehicles that move workers to and fro for work, put in place the CNG buses will soon be there. These measures have been put in place to appreciate that, yes, we know you are suffering is our suffering, but see what we are doing now is going to get better. Endure. That's what Mr. Governor has told the last section of Nigerian Anambra State workers. And I think they are keen to it. What Mr. Governor is just saying, support what we are doing. We have good intentions for you, and we have seen it for what you have done.
The Transition Committee Chairman for the Middle North Local Government Area, Chief Jukes Brown Iwanua, highlighted various achievements of the present administration in road infrastructure.
The cleanliness of the environment. His Excellency doesn't joke with it. It is one of his cardinal projects, clean, green, livable society. And we will not joke with it. We will follow it to a logical conclusion. The Middle North must be clean.
I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
The Managing Director, Anambra State Waste Management Authority, ASOMA, Mr. Mike Ozemena, has charged Indianambra to be supportive towards the efforts of maintaining a clean and healthy environment. Speaking on ABS radio and television program in Oka, Mr. Ozemena called for collective efforts of Indianambra towards achieving a green, livable and prosperous homeland, an initiative of the present administration of Governor Soludo in Anambra State. Mr. Ozemena urged Indianambra to always pay up their sanitation levies, promptly reminding them of the need to properly bag their waste for adequate collection and disposal by the waste management contractors. The Managing Director of Anambra State Waste Management Authority, ASOMA, used the opportunity to call on various households and companies to acquire waste bins and keep it at various places in their areas, warning them against littering the environment with refuse. The founders and board, management and staff of QTIS Cable PLC has celebrated the company's 40th anniversary in honor of the co-founder, Ambassador Odi Nwosu, who retired as the chairman board of trustees, QTIS Cable PLC. The event with the theme, Striving for a Thriving Commonwealth, was held at Nnewi North Local Government Area. Chimezio Umei's report is taken from the studio.
Friends, family, associates and partners of QTIS Cable PLC all gathered in commemoration of the company's milestone at 40. The Chief Executive Officer of the company, Mrs. Ijeoma Oduonye, read out a brief history of the company, which according to her was founded in 1981 by Engineer Ajulu Zodike and was later joined by Ambassador Odi Nwosu in 1982 with the name AdTech Limited. Mrs. Oduonye said that the company deals on manufacturing of cables and switchgear and later included high-quality electrical wires and cables under the name QTIS PLC, which today stands as one of the best electrical wire manufacturing company in Nigeria. Earlier in his opening remarks, the chairman on the occasion, Sir Ikem Osanakpo, described Ambassador Odi Nwosu as a man with great sense of humor who pays detailed attention to ideas and handle things meticulously. Sir Ikem emphasized that the Think Home philosophy, which was championed by the founder of the company, Chief Ajulu Zodike, was made manifest through Ambassador Odi Nwosu. In his speech, the founder of QTIS PLC, Chief Ajulu Zodike, described Ambassador Odi Nwosu as a man full of wisdom and great potential. Chief Zodike thanked Ambassador Nwosu for all his ideas, efforts, and sacrifices for the growth and sustainability of the company over the years, urging the younger directors and staff to emulate his good qualities.
The QTIS Commonwealth that Odi has helped to build is a gift to Ana Igbo and Nigeria as a whole.
In their separate remarks at the event, Barrister Ifeoma Nwachere, Board Chairman QTIS PLC, Chief Victor Ume, Senator representing Anambra Central in the Senate, Nigerian Ambassador to Burundi, Chief Elijah Onyagba, Igwe Gerald Mbamali of Ojoto, Anambra State Commissioner for Industry, Mr. Christian Udechukwu, and Professor ABC Nwosu described Ambassador Odi Nwosu as a dogged businessman, a technocrat, problem solver, innovative, and a great personality embodied with integrity.
That's how we bonded, and we got till today. Ambassador, I came to know you, I was the man of me now, I said I must attend. And here I am. Uzuko, God bless you. God bless you for what you have done with QTIS PLC. I'm in the Senate Committee for Industry.
Present at the event include former Governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, Secretary to the Anambra State Government, Professor Solochukwu Lobelo, Igwe Kenneth Oriz of Nnewi, Professor Joseph Ogbaja, CMD, Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, Transition Committee Chairman, Nnewi North Council Area, the Managing Director, Anambra Broadcasting Service, Sachido Obidegu. Presentation of awards to co-founder, Ambassador Nwosu, drama presentation and cultural display featured at the event.
The federal government has advised state government to prepare against floods following an increase in the volume of flow along River Benue. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Isef, and the Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Goronyo, disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja on Saturday. He said it is imperative for all levels of government, federal, state and local, to heighten the level of preparedness and deploy appropriate measures to minimize the potential effect of flooding during the peak of the rainy season. The minister said there should be enough sensitization of the general public by the state on the need for people living along the riverbanks to relocate to higher grounds during the peak period of rainfall, while state and local government should intensify efforts in clearing blocked drainages and also construct new ones where they do not exist, while advocating the removal of illegal structures constructed within the floodplains. He urged the general public, especially road users, to desist from working or driving through any pool of water or flood. The cultural traditional Nams of Ubunka community in Orumba South Council area was brought to the fore as a traditional ruler of the community, Iwe Jamak Anyoha, performed the 2023 New Yam Festival of the community. The festival, which took place at Iwe's Palace, started with the Thanksgiving Mass, where they appreciated God for a bountiful harvest. Amaka Chibuzo-Okoye is standing by with the rest of the story.
Ndi chair from the 5 villages that make up the community and members of the royal cabinet were all present during the ceremony. Also present were the Umokbo and other groups in the community who came to felicitate with Igwe Anyoha on this year's celebration. Igwe Anyoha also conducted yam competition for farmers in the community during the ceremony, where they were presented with different prizes to encourage them to expand their farming activities. During the kola nut ritual, Igwe Anyoha prayed their ancestors and gods to keep blessing their land and subjects, to give them long life, prosperity and breakthrough in all their endeavors. Igwe Anyoha said that the celebration of the new yam is a way of showing appreciation to God in order to attract more blessings, development and progress from him for the community. The Transition Committee Chairman of Orumba South Local Government Area, Prince Neville Uchendu, expressed delight for the unity and oneness found in Obuka, noted that Igwe Anyoha has the community at heart and has continued to fight tooth and nail to ensure progress and development of the community.
Igwe Jamak is set to go something that nobody can claim. Na Obuka. Igwe Masin Eziga den the Gombe. So it's an equal than now. What the Gomwa? Obuka, what the Gomwa?
Earlier during the Thanksgiving Mass, Reverend Father Jeremiah Okafor asked the community to rally round their traditional ruler and promote peace and togetherness to enhance development. Speaking on behalf of all the traditional rulers that graced the occasion, the traditional ruler of Owerri Ezukala, Igwe Thomas Ogbonnaya, commended Igwe Anyoha for all the positive changes witnessed in the community since his enthronement and prayed God to give him long reign and wisdom to pilot the affairs of the community. Lending their voices, the Chief of Staff to Igwe Anyoha, Chief Sunday Ndubisi, the Palace Secretary, Chief Bernard Eze, Mrs. Godgift Tabo, and Youth President Nnamdi Okonkwo thank God for the gift of Igwe Anyoha, noting that light, breakthrough, and success set in the community. Immediately he became their monarch.
na-erikwana ya n'eziokwu ilekwa ịpụrụ na so ọ igwe nwere obi sarịsa nwe igwe eji emekwere obodo onye.
Igwe Anyoha, in company of his guests, later monitored the road project being constructed by Governor Soludo and inaugurated a special security task force, while presentations of gifts to Igwe, masquerade displays, and other side attractions featured at the Ihejoko Festival. From Obunka, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
A United States military aircraft has crashed on a North Australian island, killing 3 Marines and injuring 20 during a multi-nation training exercise. 3 had been confirmed dead on Melville Island, and 5 of the 23 on board have been flown in serious conditions to the mainland city of Darwin for hospital treatment after the Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey Tuterator aircraft crashed. A statement from the U.S. Marines said Australia's Defense Ministry said the accident happened during the annual Predator Run exercises involving the militaries of Australia, the United States, East Timor, Indonesia, and the Philippines. The U.S. and Australia, a key ally in the Pacific, have been stepping up military cooperation in recent years in the face of an increasingly assertive China. Alexander Usyk of Ukraine retained as world heavyweight titles with a 9th-round knockout of Britain's Daniel Dubois in Wrocław, Poland. Victory means Usyk kept hold of the World Boxing Association, World Boxing Organization, and International Boxing Federation heavyweight belts. It also extended his perfect professional record to 21 wins from 21 bouts. There was a lengthy delay in the 5th round that the referee ruled that Usyk had been struck by a low blow from Dubois. But the champion recovered to drop Dubois down on one knee in the 8th round after landing with several punches to the head. Dubois just beat the count before the bell sounded for the end of the round, but the fight was all over in the next, with Usyk sending Dubois onto the canvas. This time, the challenger was unable to get back to his feet before the referee counted to 10. Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS in many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at Edinburgh Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television, or follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. So in the news this morning, a recap of the main point. Wife of Anambra State Governor, Mrs. Soludo, has called for reintroduction of home gardens for healthy living. Anambra State Waste Management Authority has cautioned residents against indiscriminate dumping of refuse. Federal government has urged states to prepare for flood emergencies. Aircraft crash has killed United States Marines. Here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the breakfast news right here on ABS Television at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Priska Wango. Good morning.
The new Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. No need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids. Milo!
Tap Joy. Unleash taste.
Big day ahead.
New Ovaltine 3-in-1. Smart choice for smart kids.
n'ikwenye na ọ bụ uche nke Chukwu ga-eme n'ime ndụ anyị ka anyị bụ ndị ezinụlọ